The numbers are going?
Yep.
All right.
We're rolling.
Lights are
Dude.
on.
This is the first.
This is okay.
Let's get action, focus.
This is awesome.
I'm just not going to worry about you. I'm going to trust you because I love you.
Yes.
Okay?
This is
I'm going to
exactly
trust
what's
It's
you.
gonna
gonna
happen.
be fine. Everything's gonna be fine.
You're wasting camera time.
So no, but
Trying to
explain.
reassure your ass.
So Nicole handles a lot of our obviously audio visual. She is the
I'm usually in control of, my stuff, I'm usually in control. And right now my girlfriend's behind the camera.
she is going.
So I'm not nervous for this. I'm nervous for that.
But she's gonna do so amazing. I know.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah. See, we got it rolling. We're good.
Is Daddy gonna get her?
She'll stop.
Oh, okay.
You better stop.
Yeah.
I'll make her stop.
Well, here we are, Nicole.
Yeah.
You what? Like a lot of weeks of planning actually, and here we are just talking about this subject, right?
Yeah.
So you are how old now?
I'm 19.
You're 19 years old. Oh, I remember when you were such a little girl, and here we are, and still beautiful. Anyway, so when you were in school, I know your mom and I had a lot of conversations about this before, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like what kind of pressure was the school giving you to act like an adult?
Well, I went to like a magnet school, a college prep school, and so they put a lot of pressure on us to grow up and act like adults. They always told us to act like adults, and they put a lot of pressure on us to like have everything figured out, be grown-ups, and just know what you want to do with your life, I guess, after high school, and be perfect. So it was a lot of pressure, and like if you failed or made a mistake, it was a big deal, and that sort of sucked because that's the whole thing about being a human.
Right.
So that's the whole thing about life is making mistakes and failing, so you learn.
So when, let's say on a regular day, like, or how often did it happen? Would you say?
Usually towards the end of the semester.
Okay.
Each semester, even when we were freshmen, it happened, but like it really happened, like the real pressure started happening junior year for sure. So
I mean, would you say that that's probably, I would say that that's probably pretty normal for most juniors, right? Because I mean, there's this, do you feel like there's like that a level of expectation that they're putting on you to do well then because of you approaching your senior year or whatever?
yeah, like because like junior year it's like the ACTs, SATs, you gotta start thinking about college, you gotta start applying for college, college essays, so that whole thing, they put that pressure on you. Like, what are you gonna do after high school? What's your career? What's your path? Are you gonna go to college? Which college are you gonna go to? I mean, like, college was like a thing you had to do, basically. I was very like looked down upon. I went to go visit the school after I dropped out, and my video teacher looked down upon me for dropping out. And she's my video teacher. I was with her for 4 years. I honestly didn't like her throughout those 4 years, and especially in my senior year, it sucked.
She was disappointed in the fact that you just, I don't know.
It was like we were sort of like, my group, our video group was sort of like, she didn't really like us either. So it was sort of like, oh, of course she dropped out,
Like not a surprise.
Yeah, not a surprise. Because I was always, I don't know, she just really looked down at it sucked. I knew she was going to do that.
Well, and it's sad, because I don't know, would you say that on some level, like as a kid, you normally look up to adults, and then, to be treated that way, like, was that disappointing?
It wasn't disappointing. I sort of had like that of course attitude as well because I didn't look up to any teachers at that school. Um, there were just like two teachers that I really liked. But with her, I did not look up to her. I did not want to be her for sure because she was very judgmental. She was very not really caring towards her students. Um, so it was just she didn't treat us equally, basically too. It was she just sucked.
Yeah, I mean, like, I remember as a kid looking up to adults in general and like not realizing that I was maybe using my experience with them and just saying, oh, okay, I like how they do that, or well, maybe I won't do that because they treated me like crap or whatever. So how were the discussions like when you came home from days like that? Like, what were the discussions you had with your mom and your dad?
I ranted every single day after I came home from school to my mom. And sometimes it would result in, sometimes they would like make her so mad that she would like email them, email the school or something. Let's have a meeting. She was very confrontational, which I like because she was a parent.
Like.
Yeah, she was a parent that cared.
Right.
And some parents just didn't. It's not that they cared; they just didn't care to take care of like this situation the kid had with the teacher. Even if it was like bad there, like the teachers sucked at that school. But I'm glad she was confrontational.
Yeah.
And emailed them. But yeah, I just ranted and got stuff off my chest. So
God, that was I know that your mom and I have had like a lot of conversations about that over the years, and I'm just like, what?
Yeah.
I mean, and again, it's a surprise because I mean, do you feel like when you're looking at these people, like they're supposed to help you, like I mean, did you feel helpless on some level, like, oh, you can't go to anybody?
Oh yeah, my depression got so bad as soon as I got there. Like freshman year, I didn't even know I could get like that. Like I remember it was freshman year. It was like the beginning of the year. We had health class and we were talking about depression and anxiety. And I remember this girl came in, like a spokesperson sort of came into the school. Her little sister had committed suicide and she was talking about all those things with us. And I was like, I was like this kid. I was like happy and everything. And I was like, how could someone do that to themselves? How could someone hurt themselves? And then a year later, I started like harming myself. I had suicidal thoughts. I got to that place. And I was like, it's growing up. It just sucks. And it's hard sometimes. So.
Yeah, I know that Abby was mentioning before that there's this pressure, to get to a certain point, by a certain point, right? Hit a certain milestone. Do you feel like that was part of what was happening? Like, oh, okay, there's this pressure from all these people, and I don't feel like I have control over my destiny.
Yeah, exactly. That was it. And I procrastinated a lot too, so that didn't help.
Girl, you are not the only one. I'm probably like the best one. Laundry? Oh, I need underwear? What?
Inside out. Have you heard that trick?
Right? Like, doesn't work for girls. Doesn't really work for girls.
It shouldn't work at all.
It really
for anyone.
For anybody.
Yeah.
For anybody.
Yeah.
So
it's gross.
But we digress. So, I mean, would you say, I could probably, make an assumption, but would you say that high school prepared you at all for adulthood?
No.
Why do you say that?
Not what.
No.
I mean, I guess it prepared me a little bit, like with people and social skills. I guess I really came out of my shell at that school, but I think that's just because of the friends that I chose. Um, I guess it prepared me in that way. Uh, I think it prepared me in ways that, like, if someone does me wrong, I'm gonna confront them about it, but in a respectful manner, and then the situation gets handled, you know? So, because the teachers did me wrong so many times. Um, uh, the old school system did, but I guess it prepared me in that way. But like math, science, all that stuff, no.
Yeah.
So
You mentioned your friends, right? Like, would how were they as your support system going through all of that? You know, the pressure of, you know, wanting to, or the teachers telling you that you needed to be an adult at such a young age. When, I mean, you probably nobody was prepared for that, right?
yeah, no one was.
Yeah. How's that support system?
My friends are the best friends I ever could have asked for. Um, they supported me the most. I mean, like, beside my parents. They, I mean, like, they knew that, like, I was harming myself, and they supported me before my parents knew. And they were there for me, and they were there for me in so many ways. We would always, like, talk trash about everything going on in the school and be like, man,
Typical.
did you get that assignment done?
Right.
Nah, I'm gonna get it done in third period. And like, you know, it was like okay to procrastinate, you know, because it was just a cool support system. Yeah, I love them so much. You know, they're great. And it's so crazy, like the paths that we ended up going on are like so different than what we thought, like graduating from that school, you know,
So give me an example of what
or
you
like
mean.
being in that school. So like me, for example, I dropped out of college. I never thought that would happen. Faith, she's traveling abroad. I mean, like, she wanted to do that, but it's crazy. She's in Argentina right now. She's living her best life.
Living her best life.
Yeah, she's
Go Faith.
she's taking great Instagram pictures, you know.
Yeah.
Trinity, she's in the military.
And was she planning on being in the military?
She came to me, like, I think it was like last semester of senior year, and she was like, hey, don't tell anyone, but she was gonna go to college. She was like, don't tell anyone, but I'm going in the military. I'm like, what the heck, Trinity?
Right.
What the?
Right,
I'm like,
right.
what are you? What? You're going into the military? It was crazy, and she loves it. She's learning Russian right now.
Fantastic.
So that's great. Danny, just living it up in Nebraska, in Creek, Nebraska.
And we don't know where Creek, Nebraska is.
It's
people.
it's in the middle of nowhere. It's Nebraska.
it's Nebraska.
But she's playing soccer and she's having fun. She met
That's
great
awesome.
friends. I mean, like, there's other people. Like, when I dropped out, like, I put out that video, and I had some people from my high school go like, man, I was thinking about dropping out too. I thought I was the only one. And, you know, some people did drop out, and it's crazy. I mean, like, school isn't for everyone.
Right.
And we're all doing great without school, you know?
So when you talk about school, like, how relieved were you after you told your parents, like, look, this isn't a good fit? Like, well, first of all, how did you have that discussion, and then how did you feel about it after you had it?
Before I had it, I was scared. I made the video by myself in my dorm room. Hazel was sitting on my bed.
Surprisingly.
Yeah. I had the view of the city that I love the most, Seattle, from my dorm. And I was filming the video, no interruptions. And I was just getting everything out. edited the video, uploaded it, sent it to my parents, posted on Instagram. So that was me. The video to my parent, it was the video to my parents, just like saying how I feel and like telling them this is what I want to do and just telling them how I feel, no interruptions, and telling them everything. And then they called me and we had the discussion and they gave me their point of view. And then, you know, we had a conversation. And after the conversation, after they said, yeah, okay, we'll pull you out and everything. And I was relieved that I was leaving, but I was also really, really scared because I had no idea what I would do without school, because that's all I ever known.
Yeah.
I never really worked a real job before then, you know. So
now you're working it, girl.
yeah.
Work it. Do you feel like before you sent the video to your parents, did you feel like, oh my God, I'm going to disappoint them? Like, I know, like, for me growing up, that was like my biggest fear was just disappointing family, you know?
Yeah, I was really scared to disappoint them. I mean, I said it in the video. I was like, they worked so hard for me to get to that point of me being in college with a really good scholarship, doing what I love. We worked so hard. They worked so hard to get me to that point. And then I felt like I was just throwing all that hard work away. And it was like all for nothing. Like, I'm dropping out of school. Like, what was this for?
Right.
You know? So I felt like a disappointment for sure.
But then, like, what about the other side of that?
Now, dropping out of college was the best decision I've ever made so far in my life. I have a really, really stable job at a camera shop here, the only camera shop here, and
go BNC.
Yeah, go BNC. You know, like, my boss is there. Great. They're really great. They're great people to work for. My coworkers, some of the best people. Even though that job just like makes me mad sometimes because it's a retail job and customers come in. Even though it makes me mad sometimes, I still love it because I still get to help people, you know, and make a lot of money. And, you know, now I'm planning to move out, get my own place. I have a wonderful girlfriend that I'm pretty sure is like the love of my life, and never thought, you know, that would be a thing. Never thought I would find love like that. I truly am feeling a happiness that I've never felt before. I feel so independent, and I'm doing what I love, and this podcast is great. Yeah, my mom's like, yeah, no.
I mean, is it like, I mean, you're 19, right? You're progressing into adulthood. Is there anything you can think of that scares you about, like, being fully independent as an adult?
All those bills.
Yeah.
There's so
High
many.
five.
Yeah.
Ugh.
There's just so many.
I get scared of those too.
Like, what? Like, I don't even know. Like, I probably don't even know half the bills that are gonna exist.
Right.
You know, I think that scares me the most.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I think that, you know, it's a very valid point.
Yeah.
I think that everybody does, you know. Do you feel like you can talk to your parents about it when the time comes where it's like, oh, I don't really understand how that type of thing works, you know?
Oh yeah, I come to them all the time. And it helps that my mom owns her own insurance company.
Yeah.
So she knows what she's talking about,
Right.
like, really.
Right.
She knows like the best solutions, best ways. But yeah, I definitely will come to them when I have trouble. I still come to them when I have trouble with anything. But yeah, for sure, I won't hesitate.
Yeah. Well, you know, some of our listeners and viewers may or may not know that you have your own channel, right? So, and that's, social media is a very much a part of your life, right? Do you think that that social media plays like a huge part into just, like your perception on what it is to be an adult on some level?
Yeah, I've kind of learned that like Instagram's fake.
What do you mean?
Like, I mean, everyone's so happy on it. They post their best pictures. But then I get on Twitter and everyone's like, dude, life sucks. Like, but it's like so real.
Right.
So it's like certain platforms that are like real ish. And I don't know, like I love social media. But there's just expectations that people like sort of set for themselves because of social media, because of like their favorite YouTuber or something. They bought like a $1 million house and they're like 20,
Right.
because they're a TikTok star or something. And
That's a thing.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
I mean, those kids are making a lot of money.
Right.
But it's just, yeah, I mean, you got to work hard. You got to work hard at the end of the day to get to that point. Obviously, with whatever you do, everything takes hard work to get to some wealthy place, I guess, some stable place. It takes hard work to a place that you want to get to.
So how can you take what you're seeing on social media and be able to figure out what is real versus what is not, because like a lot of the the smaller kids that are coming up, it's like you said before, right? Like there's this expectation that when you're 20 you have $1 million home. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, how do you at 19 figure that out, other than just common sense, or what?
I mean, I think it's a lot with having to do like with actually like being in the real world, like not being in school and having a full-time job, or like trying to get one like me. Like actually like just like having like, I guess, no plan B in a way.
Okay.
Like nothing to really fall back on. Cause like school, if you're in school, you sort of have like a structure. You're sort of in this bubble. And you feel like you're gonna be in there for like a long time, or like your whole life, and then you get out of it, you're like, what happens now? So I guess it's that whole structural system that it's like, it's scary, I guess. But yeah, it's just like being in the real world. Yeah, that.
Yeah, I mean, no, that totally makes sense.
Yeah.
I understand that. I don't think, I remember growing up and just saying to myself that, I just want to experience the world all on my own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now
You
you're here
know
and you're
what I'm
like,
talking about. Right, all the things that my parents
Yeah.
warned me about. And then
Yeah.
all of a sudden I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
Like,
I want to go back.
yeah, can I just crawl back up into the womb?
Yeah.
Please? Is that possible?
Rewind a bit.
Right. So being 19, you're technically an adult, right? So if you could like go back in time, just like rewind to any any part of your childhood, what would you tell yourself?
Everything will be okay. I've always said that. It's, that saying means a lot to me. I have it tattooed on my arm. Everything will be okay. Just live life. Don't worry about the future too much. Think about it, be prepared, but don't think about it too much, because if you just live it, then you'll be okay. You're put on a path. As long as you make the right decisions, you'll be okay. And if you make mistakes and you fall, you'll be able to get back up because you're strong. So
yeah, I mean, like I totally get that. I mean, I much like your mom, I didn't go the traditional path, like I kind of I had kids at a really young age. Way too many kids at a young age, right? I would never change a thing. I mean, like, they really made me such a better person for it. But yeah, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I was gonna use the word, but I'm not going to. But then I said it, so now I did.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's
You
fine.
know. But yeah, it's a big thing trying to figure out your path, and I think you're doing a wonderful job. You, Abby, Emily, all you guys are doing a great job. So, no, this was cool. This is a lot of fun. Like, I mean, how many times do we get to do this? Probably gonna happen way more times than we can count.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey guys, thank you so much for listening.
Yeah. Should we
How long was that?
How long?
Got to, 25.
Oh, that's not bad.
52.
That's not
Okay,
bad.
that's good.
So we can do the wrap up, me and Vanessa.
Yeah.
Or we should do a wrap up with the kids.
Okay.
That would be
We
fun.
have to give
Come on,
another
Abby.
Share.
cheat.
Well,
It's okay.
no, yeah, just sit down with me. It's fine.
Yo, yo, yo!
Yay! Look, the whole gang is here.
Hi, our little mini me's
Yay.
over there.
Which one do I look at?
You can look at that.
Look at the main
Camera.
one. Look at the main one because that's the one I'm gonna cut to.
Don't
Hey.
mind her. She's
Well-
mine.
Well, this wraps up our series on kids are kids, not adults.
Yeah.
Because I'll come kick you out. No, I'm just playing.
I mean, she could, but then we'd have other things that.
Yeah,
You
we
know.
have other issues.
Yeah.
So, thanks so much, you guys, for watching. And so I have my sign off written down
Yes.
because I have a really bad memory.
Yeah, our senior moments are
Plentiful. Our senior moments are plentiful. So, if you like what you just saw, please subscribe down below.
down below.
Click on the little bell icon to get the notifications when we have uploaded a new podcast. If you enjoyed this video, this podcast, give it a thumbs up. The little thumbs up. Be quiet.
It's fine. You're doing great.
And
You're doing great,
if you have
sweetie.
any comments, please put them down below. And follow us on Instagram. And you guys have a great night. Thank you, Nicole.
She did great.
Thank you, Abby. You guys did great. Thank
Yeah,
you
we
for
know.
opening up and telling us your inner thoughts. We will definitely have you both back. And our new camera person in the background there, Emily, thank you for helping out.
Good job,
we really
Emily.
appreciate it.
Love you.
And yeah, you're going to be a guest on this, so you better brace yourself.
Thanks,
And
guys.
Thank you so much. Our next series is going to be we're going to compare parents of an athletic, parents of a creative, and parents of an academic. And that's if we can get all those three parents scheduled and here to film.
Yeah, that kind of is a little challenging, but we'll
Yeah.
work with it.
Yeah, we're working on it really hard.
Abby's
know.
learning her shapes
Abby
today.
keeps looking into the lights. I don't
Bro,
know
you
why.
look at the camera, not the lights.
Thank you so much, you guys. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.